project we're going to use a round cabochon. This one is 22 millimeters. A piece of 20 gauge half hard copper wire. This is 20 centimeters or 8 inches. A piece of 20 centimeters, 8 inches as well, of 20 gauge dead soft half hard dead soft half round wire, and 10 pieces of 20 gauge round wire. All the wires are copper, by the way. So to start, we're going to take our 28 gauge wires and bend them by the middle, like this. Then we take one of the wires and we will attach it to the center of our 20 gauge square wire, our frame wire. So we will coil it around it 4 times, like this. And we repeat the process with all of the 28 gauge wires. Now all our wires are secured to the frame wire. It should look something like this. So now the next step is to twist the wires together. So as you can see, the wires are in groups of 2 every time. So the idea is to twist them together. The first one is alone. The second and the third one, we twist them together 4 times. And we repeat the process with all the wires, and the last one will be alone as well. Like this, all of them. Okay, so now all our twists are made, as you can see here. So the next step is to continue twisting them. So here I have the first wire and the first group, the first twist, and we will twist them together. So 3 times, 1, 2, 3. The same with the next 2 ones. So I like to separate the wires every time, so that it's easier to twist them this way. One, 2, 3. Same thing on the other side. So here, 1, 2, 3, the next two. One, two, three. And in the middle we have three groups. So same way, we try to organize them so that it's easier to twist them, and this time only two. So now it should look something like this. Our next step now is to shape the base wire to the shape of the stone. So we can use the stone to do it, or we can use any round tool that we have that can help us to get this shape. In my case, I have a mandrel here that will help me. So what we want is to make it smaller than the cabochon. This is good. This is good. So now with our pliers we can bend the wires up, one like this and the other one like this. So if it's not exactly centered, as you can see, all my wires now are a bit off, we can still adjust. So we just have to make this movement and push the wires into place. And there we go. This looks pretty good. Now we take our piece of 20 gauge half round and we will secure our frame wires together. 1, 2, 3, 4 times, like this. Now I will cut the excess of wire and apply some pressure here so that everything stays into place, like this. Okay, so now we will make the trunk. For that I have separated all the wires so that half go to one side and the other half goes to the other side. So with my fingers I will take only the wires going to the right. So this one, then these ones, and so on. Okay, and we bring them all close together. Like this, and we twist them all together. 1, 2, 3 times. Like so. Now we can place our stone and bend the wires up on top of the stone, like this. So what I like is to have the trunk going midway up the stone. So for that I still have to do a few more twists, maybe 2 more. You don't have to do it exactly like me. You have to try to see how it looks for you, but in my case this is good enough. So now we start separating the wires to form the branches. So here we take 4 wires. 1, 2, 3, 4. So with these 4 wires here, I will twist them together. 1, 2, 3 times, and repeat the process on the other side. Now the rest of the wires, we twist them 1 time, and again we take 4 wires and we twist them 1, 2, 3, and the same on the other side. Four wires. So as you can see, every time I take 4 wires, I separate them so that I have 2 and 2 to be able to twist them together. It makes it a lot easier. And now I have the 2 top wires here. We twist them, the 4 wires, we twist them 2 times, and now it's starting to look like a tree. For our next step, we will take every branch that we have made, so every time it's the wires, and we twist them about 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like this. And we repeat the process with all of the branches. Okay, so now I have done all the branches and we're ready to secure the stone into place. So the first ones we're going to secure will be the two ones on top of the tree. So we place our stone into place in the right position. So if you're working with a labradorite, you have to find the best position to get as much shine as possible. So in this case, this would be the best. Yeah. And we will untwist the wires. This gives a nice shape to the wires, more natural, and we don't have to untwist it until the end. We want to leave a few millimeters, like 2 millimeters maybe, and we do it on both sides. So first wires to be secured are the ones on the sides. So this one on the left side, we secure it, we attach it to the frame. This way. And the same on the other side. So this is the trickiest part, and it's not tricky, it's quite easy. Just make sure to hold the stone into place. Okay, we only secured it by wrapping it one time because we want to be able to adjust. If the tree is not centered, then we can pull more on one side or more on the other. But this is looking good, so we can leave it like this. And the two other wires, we will cross them like this. And we secure it to the frame. This time we do it 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the same. Oh, the stone moved. The same on the other side. So, sorry, it's a bit messy in the beginning. So the next wire here, we secure it to the frame. Four times. And we finish securing also the first branches that we attached. The one side, and the other two. Okay, so it should look something like this, and the front like this. So we can still adjust the position of the branches with our fingers, and we continue with the rest of the branches. So this is the one that we're going to use next. We untwist it, almost to the end, and we take the top wire. Okay, and here's the funny part. So this one, we will cross it with the previous branch we secured, like this, and we will coil it in direction of the bail, so that way. Four times. Like this. And the next wire, this time we will secure it, but the other side, so coiling it in the direction of the roots. Try to keep everything tight as much as you can, but don't break your wires, so be careful. I like to use my nails to create a gap in between the stone and the base wire, so that I can slip the wire under it. So should look like this, and we repeat the process on the other side. So I will show you one more time, and that's the same process that we're going to use for all the branches. So we separate here, like this. Yeah, this looks good. We cross with the previous wire, the previous branch here, and this is where we want to secure this wire. This can be a bit tedious sometimes, but if you stay organized, everything should come out good. Like this. And the next wire in the other direction. There we go. So same thing for all the rest of the branches. We untwist them, the branch going more to the top, we cross it and we coil it in the direction of the bale, and the second one in direction of the roots, and the same for all of them. Now all our tree is ready and all the wires are secured to the frame. So here you can check how they cross and how they are secured. I repeated the same process that I showed you every time I cross the wires, like this. But the tree does not look natural yet. So for that I like to use my round nose pliers and separate the roots and bend them a bit randomly. Like this. What I usually do here is that I hold with my pliers at the base of the trunk and then I bend it to the left. Then I bend it to the right and so on. And then the branches, I bend them a bit down and then separate the branches here. And I do this for all the branches. So first bend down and then I separate the branches. Same here. Same here. And then the two top ones, I just separate them one side and the other. And this is it. This is how I build my trees. But we still have all the wires here behind. So here is a very cool technique. You take one wire and as you pull on it, you make this movement and the wire will break in the perfect place. Again, we pull, circular motion. You can even take two at the same time if you want, and repeat. So I will try to show you. I don't know if we can see, but the wires are just in between the frame. Oh, this is a bit blurry. Just in between the frame and the cabochon, so they cannot go out of place. And as you pull on it, it also tightens the whole wrap, so everything stays into place. So we repeat that process for all the wires. There we go. Here is our tree, and here is the back. Can you see how clean it is? It's soft on the skin and there is no wire ends bothering at all. So now we continue with the bail. So we take the half round wire and we continue wrapping it around our two base wires. We can do it with the hand, but what I like to do is to use my nylon tip pliers. So for that I hold, wait a sec, there, I hold the bail where the half round wire is, and I turn like this. So I open the plier a little bit and then I apply some pressure, and we do that. So this will help us to have it really tight and in the best position as possible. And it's really easy to do. Little more. This depends on how big you want your bail to be. I think this is enough for me. So here we have 2.5 centimeters, which is 1 inch. Okay, so now we can cut the excess here, and apply some pressure there so that it doesn't move. So now we will bend everything more to the front, and with our bail forming pliers or round nose pliers or pencil if you don't have any of those, we form the bail. So here we separate the wires. And the first one, so the one here on the left, yeah, we will bend it to go in front and then back here. And we just cut here. Right there. And with our pliers, we just apply some pressure so that everything is tight and secured. And for the other one, we bring it to the front like this. And so two options here. You can do the same with the second wire and secure it behind, and it will look like this. Or you can do a spiral. I like spirals, so we'll cut here about 1 centimeter to the right, and with my pliers I will create a spiral. So first I start like this, apply some pressure there, and then I take my flat nose pliers, which are a bit stronger since we are working with half-hard wire. I mean, you can do it with dead soft, but I like half-hard because it makes everything stronger. It holds better into place. And there we go. So this is our finished piece. You can oxidize it if you want and polish it. I will make a video about oxidation and polish. But yeah, this is how I make my trees so that they look organic and centered and clean also. This is the best way that I have found. And now you can use this technique. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is the basic technique to make trees of life, but you can use the same technique to make more elaborate pendants like this one. So these are a wonderful gift. People really enjoy them, and you can be sure that the person that will receive this pendant is really going to love it. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And you can find me on social media. I will leave the links down below. And if you want to dive a bit deeper into the wraps, you can check my website with more tutorials, more advanced tutorials. So enjoy!